Good morning. It's Dan Webb, everybody's favorite host of Dan Sits Down. We're in Florida still, after the Fort Myers mishap. Sorry, my mohawk is popping up. So this is my problem with the world today. I want to look at shit like this, man. Like, okay, 20. This guy's out here, and he's gonna take blood from somebody. And all it is a bus with refrigeration. He's got four AC units on the top and a paint scheme. But like, one blood. I mean, that guy might as well just be some. He might as well be a fake person, man. That guy, for all you know, just stole that bus from his neighbor and knew where it was. And if you're one of those people that don't think the world hasn't fallen apart, man, like, take a look around. I advise you to take a look around, take a good look. I'm going to start pointing things out to you. This is be the purpose of my channel, okay? I was just in Chicago for the past year. Shit's fucked up out there, too. I'm back in the Tampa Bay area. And shit's fucked up everywhere, alright? Like, in the center of the country, I met a lot of people. Not a lot of people's traveling. People that can travel, they ain't got no business traveling. The people that need to travel can't travel. Like, you can tell our society's just been completely restructured. Just on the sole fact that, like, I mean, I would love to take you in here to Walmart, but I won't. But I mean, it's nothing to do with the people there. Everybody, it seems like they're great people. But man, ain't shit in that store. Like, there's the smallest fucking Walmart I've ever seen, and ain't shit in that store. There's just nothing in there. It's tiny, and product selection, availability is just it ain't there. It's not like what it used to be. So anyway, I've been trying to, like, get money up, pay for the gas to travel, because I'm going to start documenting my experience, and I'm going to document it in this way, and hopefully somebody in the future will find it, or maybe it'll be like stored in the cloud or something like that. Hence the channel. This is the new historical narrative, people. All right, I want to tell you, this is the new primary source. We used to go at, you'd have these historians that would go pick apart someone's handwritten journal that was like somebody found. It's been around for like 300 years. It's in Boston Public Library or something under some glass, and then some guy comes out with some gloves and shit, and like you've got to be like, oh, I'm doing research, blah blah blah. Like, okay, follow these. Protocols that maintain the primary source. So in other words, don't fucking get your don't be eating cheeseburgers over the fucking 300-year-old piece of paper, man. All right, some common sense, like shit like that. So anyway, you can go look there and pick those apart. So what these videos now are going to be are going to be those. I promise you, there are the new primary sources. One day there's going to be historians, archivists, if you want to call them that. They'll go through all this, because it's in the archive, all right? Like, so here it is. Welcome to the archive. This is supposedly 2022. Well, that's what I've been taught my whole life. And I'm constantly reminded of time. Everywhere I fucking look, there's some type of timestamp everywhere. It's like, why the fuck are we even counting time? Like, what's the point of that? Now, I thought a lot about that. That's going to be a kind of different video. I want to share, but basically it boils down to, if we didn't have time, we wouldn't get no fucking work done either. So we have to subscribe to some type of time interval, some type of discipline as humans, because I'll tell you right now, there's definitely an external threat. Definitely, man. There's definitely an externality. I don't care what you think or what you want to say about COVID. I promise you, man, all the people you don't see anymore, they're not sitting at home watching Netflix, man. Those fucking houses next to you are fucking empty, and there ain't nobody in there. I understand someone shows up to mow the lawn, but you can tell, man, like, nobody's fucking in there. I mean, they're all over Florida. They're all over Illinois as well. Go you go see the Aurora area. Just go downtown, man. There's like all these empty businesses. You go I mean, emptiness. It's just empty, man. Empty. So if you want to sit here and tell me, oh, they just haven't come back out after the pandemic or they're afraid of shit. Bullshit, man. Those people got fucking harvested. All right, like, I mean, call it what you want, man. Them people got fucking harvested. Okay? I promise you that. Them people are gone. Where are all their fucking cars? You know what I found outside of the donation bin, which I call it the voodoo box, because, man, boy, I just pray for something that just shows up. Like, I've got over 6 social security numbers, man, like, just popped up in the voodoo box. And by this, I mean the box that's in Montgomery, Illinois. There's a big green box. Watch, now I'm going to make the video disappear or some shit, or some fucking asshole go fucking paint it orange. Who gives a fuck, right? But anyway, it's the donation pile for the whole community. And what happens is somebody new will come to the community and they'll rent some place from some guy. And it's not even this guy's property, like, but they're going to rent it from this guy anyway. Like, some asshole shows up in a monkey suit with a clipboard and says, oh, sign the lease, blah, 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 and pay this bank account. Okay, yeah, sure. And that guy's like, not the property owner. The property owner is long gone, man. I promise you that. The property owner is just some fucking person on paper. One way or another. Whether you believe they actually existed and then they got harvested, or our government just lies and we have all this. But where'd all the empty properties come from? Who built them? So we just build houses and pretend like our population's 300 million. But there's no fucking way there's 300 fucking million people here. There's no way. There's no way there's 300 million people in America. I promise you that, man. I promise you. I grew up, I got my driver's license. Gas was $1 a gallon. You had V6s everywhere. You're talking about 2000. You're right before 9/11, before they so I've been everywhere, okay? I've been everywhere. And yes, these places aren't, yeah, you got, billionaires saying we're in a simulation, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, I get that. However, it's pretty fucking real, all right, man? Like, so, yeah, I live on the road. I live on the streets, man. Like, this is what it is, right? Okay? It's fucking real. So, for those of you that are living in New York and they're like, man, dude, I don't even know if California's real, and vice versa, and you're in California. Man, I've been there, okay? I've been to the Bronx. I saw the Red Sox because it's cheaper than Fenway Park. All right, you don't go to the Red Sox game against the Yankees game and the home game, okay? You go to New York City when we play them, all right? Because it's that much cheaper. Go figure. But anyway, so you get out there. It's real. New York City's real, okay? It's not a simulation. It's pretty fucking real, all right? And Los Angeles, I've been there. It's real. Like Tampa, Chicago, Boston, New York, LA, all right? Them are my places. I only ever flew over Colorado. I've been to Hawaii, Waikiki, San Diego. I stopped there. That's real. All right, so I promise you, this shit's real. All right, you want to call it simulation and follow some type of different set of rules? I'd be inclined to agree with you in the sense that, well, obviously this world is pretty contrived. When you see a bunch of empty houses and there are all these people like supposedly filing tax returns, and that, basically our government's just printing fucking money, right? And they're saying that, hey, we got 300 million people over here. And now finally these other countries around the world are like, man, we're calling your bullshit, America. And I haven't seen very many planes in the sky. Oh, going back to, so in the 90s, man, like, I mean, there's people fucking everywhere, man. You waited in traffic fucking everywhere. Especially a place like Aurora, Illinois. If you go there, it hasn't changed. Haven't changed in like 30, 40 years, but like, they got all the fucking tax revenue, the income, everything. Like, those streets should be like fucking, I mean, they should have stacks on stacks of streets there now, and they should be paved in fucking gold. All right? Where's all the money going? Some people try to tell us this stuff in roundabout fucked up ways because it's the only way they can communicate. Like, believe me, if I try to tell you exactly, and I'm one of the people that I can share a lot, because, well, I've already suffered most of the fucking consequences. I mean, there's not much more that can really happen to me that's going to make me afraid to say something. So, we've basically, see, it's hard to say. I gotta think of some fucked up way to say it, and then it'll be like only like maybe 5 out of 5,000 views will like kind of like understand where I was going with that. You know, so going back to the 90s, man, there's people fucking everywhere. They have all this tax revenue, man. All these people are fake. They're just fake people on paper. So our government says, yeah, hey, we got the population. They try to bully the rest of the world. Be like, yeah, we got this big old army. It's not as big. It's not as big. When last time? Where the fuck is 1.2 million fucking army, man? And women. Where the fuck are they, man? Oh, they're positioned all over the world. They're like, oh, yeah. Let's do a head count. How about that? Well, how about we, the people, grow a set of fucking balls? You think? Grow a set of fucking balls, everybody. Even if you're wearing some cojones. Whatever you want to call it. And let's do a fucking head count. A head count. I want everybody in this country accounted for. How's that? Let's start there. Where do you want to see? I'm willing to go anywhere, man. I'm willing to go anywhere. I need you guys to support this channel. I don't even know what I'm calling it yet. This is going to be the first video. I got other videos too. But let me tell you, man, the world is fucked up. Alright? Yeah, you already know. Alright? And we have a lot of work to do if we want to save ourselves. Ain't you got time to be saving the world no more, man. We got to save ourselves first, because it don't matter. It won't matter unless we save ourselves together. I don't mean that means just like, oh, let's just go out and fucking live in the woods and like plant some shit. No, man, we got all this fucking technology. Essentially, they got invaded. We already hit the peak. We hit our peak. For all I know, it was 500 years ago, because I'm just born. I was born. That was my point about going back to Aurora, Illinois, where I lived and grew up in the 90s. Okay, so for those of you that subscribe to a time paradigm, you know, because you go to China and they're like, well, you call it this or that, and yeah, but we don't. We're totally different, man. Like, we don't even. So the way, meaning that the physical events that occurred at whatever time interval that happened, i.e., they built a bunch of homes. It like nothing's changed out there in Aurora. Like it's all the same shit. Maybe a facelift, okay, but it's all the same. So for all I know, since that part of the country didn't get no updates, for as much taxes that you fucking paid to live in Illinois, holy shit, you pay just as much income tax as federal income tax. I'll tell you that right now. So half your check's gone. If you work in Illinois, about 40%, well, about 41% of your check, boom, between all your payroll deductions, well, your taxes, all that shit, like, and then you got the Illinois state income tax, and that's about 20%. So tack it on. So, well, if that's the case, why aren't those streets, like, paved in gold by now? Like, why isn't, you know, like, how come that hasn't changed? You know, you go to a place like Florida, man, like, just look at, like, US 19, man, they went straight down the whole state, 3 lanes each way. Their own state, you know, US 19, right? Like, I mean, that's not interstate. 75 runs parallel to it. And then that was so clogged up. 19 was so clogged up. Just going through like Citrus, Hernando, Pasco, Pinellas, Hillsborough. Okay, those are the counties in Florida, which, by the way, somehow, some way, like fucking 250,000 people in Hillsborough County went out to vote for Joe Biden. And it's like, man, I'll tell you right here, I was here during the Super Bowl, and it was a fucking madhouse. Like 250,000 people had come to town, right? Fucking people everywhere, traffic everywhere, you know, all the businesses booming, all kinds of shit, right? Election day, man, you could hear a fucking pin drop anywhere. Should have documented it, but I mean, whatever, man. I drove around, fucking, you know, sat there, I listened. You should have heard traffic. You should, I mean, like, nothing, man, nothing. Okay? So, obviously, 250,000 people did not go out and vote in the presidential election in just Hillsborough County alone. Like, maybe 250,000 people in the whole fucking state probably went out and voted, man. Like, people just weren't... Sorry to say it, man. And you know what? I don't give a fuck if, you know, you want to, like, smear me or paint me as crazy, because the data's there. I'm a scientist, man. I'm highly credentialed, all right? The data's fucking there. So, with that said, we have a situation where we don't have this population that's as big as we think, all right? we're overstating our population, and we're printing money like crazy, and we're just buying shit, throw it in a black hole, like, essentially. We're just, it's like we're deliberately wasting our resources on fucking nonsense. And you want to talk about like a power plant, like I got a pretty simple design that would give pretty much free energy, every time the sun shines, and it's a lot better than a solar panel, okay? And it's very simple to make, given our level of industrialization and technology. There's no reason you should have a power bill. Sorry, you shouldn't have a power bill. Now, going back to where we were at technologically was when everything was analog. Okay, so if you can pull out something and make everything analog, like, we can't have no signals no more, man. All these wireless, like, no. It's too easy to be fucked with, man. Like, I was living in a plaza dweller here, plaza parking lot. And they had these people supposedly from the electric company, the power company, ComEd, and that's Illinois. ComEd, for those of you in the Midwest, I'm sure you heard of them, Commonwealth Edison. And, who knows how that company, probably had something to do with Thomas Edison and blah, 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 or they branded his name. Who gives a shit at this point, man? It's deployed infrastructure, right? Okay, so supposedly, like, you got these people out in the plaza, and they're giving away free Bluetooth speakers. And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me, right? So they give, like, oh yeah, just they say it's from Commonwealth Edison. It's a Bluetooth speaker. All you gotta do is show us a copy of your power bill. Just bring your power bill. If you got your power bill, we're giving away free speakers. So you go there and you show them, or maybe they get lucky, right? Because I'll tell you right now, these people are fucking scammers, or they're even worse. So they get lucky that maybe you already got one of your fucking old bills in your car or something, because, you know what, a lot of people go to, like, grocery stores to pay their bill. There's all kinds of ways. Western Union, especially if you're from, like, a different country where Aurora's got a lot of immigrant population, particularly South America. I speak Spanish. Yo puedo hablar también. Pues, tú ya sabes. Mira, anyway, so, all right, so they're getting down on these people, all right? They're getting down on our fucking neighbors, or our people too, man. We're fucking, all right? Like, that's, I don't know, I could delineate me based on a fucking skin color, or I'll even learn all the goddamn languages if I have to. I don't care anymore. And then I'll get a tan. How's that? And then I'll get a tan. So call me whatever the fuck you want, right? A blue-eyed Westerner, yeah. So they're getting down on these people who, like, oh yeah, just show us the Commonwealth Edison bill. So then they, like, take a picture of the fucking Commonwealth Edison bill, and then they know, like, the MAC address or IEMI on the fucking Bluetooth speaker that you're then gonna go take home and hook to your computer USB to charge it or fucking play music, or you're gonna hook it to your Bluetooth. That fucking thing you're gonna bring into your home, and it's gonna connect every fucking device that it can, man. I bet you right now that most people don't even think about it, and they'll just fucking hardwire it right to their PC, oh, let me charge it off my laptop or something like that. Like, oh my god, man. No, you don't bring a device like that into your home, okay? Let me put things into perspective for you as far as what AI can do, like, today, or what. All right, so yeah, that happens all the time. Okay. So basically, you don't want to bring a device into your home that can emit any fucking wireless signal, man. Stick to all analog, because it can be hacked way too easy, okay? It can be fucking hacked. And it can be transmitted. So it stands to reason that if I can make a wireless antenna that's like 4 or 5 miles away, and that can connect to this device I got in my hand, my phone, right, cell phone, like, say you had just somebody, never mind going down the rabbit hole and saying, okay, I'm way more advanced technology than what they show us, which probably true. We're in America. I mean, have you even seen a Chinese city? Like, are you kidding me, man? And then they tell us it's ghost cities, which is probably true too, because the Chinese probably like, well, we'll just pretend we got 1 billion then. But man, go look at those fucking cities, man. They blow anything we have out of the fucking water. Out of the water. Shenzhen, Like, look at the place. Just look at the place. You're telling me them people are fucking living in the Stone Age? Bullshit, man. Bull fucking shit. They've got way better shit. They're selling us their old shit, and we're thinking it's new. But, I mean, how would you know? How would you know? That's my question. How would you know? And if you thought you were talking to a Chinese person online, well, how would it, like language barrier, immigrant, and I mean, like, say there's just this system that is already in place, and then you think you're talking to somebody in China, but you're just talking to fucking, like, the Chinese got their AI neural networks fucking done 20, 30 years ago. They're 20, 30 years ahead of us. And then they just keep us in a box. How would you know? How would you know? Pick it apart, man. Let's start doing some work. All right? I'm telling you right now, you can't ignore like 20, 30 years of subtle data. I mean, maybe I've got a way better memory than most people. I don't know that I'm highly educated. Maybe that's why I was able to get such a great education to remember all this shit, right? Like, but... sorry, man. I mean, I've got like fucking 50, 60 journals too. But I mean, Jesus Christ, you want me to fucking go through all that shit and read all that shit to you? Now I'm giving you the end analysis, essentially. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving you, well, the current analysis of today. And we'll continue to do an analysis every day, man. I want to help people. I want to calm your anxieties about what the fuck's going on in the world. Because you know what? You should be looking around. You should be looking around your whole fucking country, your neighborhood, your town, everything. And being like, what the fuck, man? Like, what just happened? What happened in the last 3 years? Like, I remember there being way more people, okay? So maybe at one point we did say we had 300 million people, but I ain't seen them no more. Unless, again, if the AI came out 20, 30 years ago, like, man, I see the light turn green for certain people, man, all the time. They're not cops, they're not police officers, not emergency, first responder. Okay, these people literally pull up to an intersection and the fucking light turns for them, okay? I've seen it happen to such an extent that this one lady just drives right through it. It's timed perfect for it. Because I was at a very common light that I was always at, going into Planet Fitness. This is where I take my showers and shit like that, which should be free, but very common light that I used all the time for over a year in Aurora, so I know the way this light works. And then one day, I was making my left turn into the plaza, and like the fucking light turned yellow on me. I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude? That's so fucking bizarre that happened. Like, it's never, like, because there's nobody there. But as soon as it got like red for me, here comes this like this fucking lady in the fucking Kia Soul, just go drive right through. She didn't have to fucking brake. What? Where'd she? It's like the fucking light knew that she was coming around the corner in the fucking parking lot somehow and changed for her. What? See, and I see both. Oh, and by the way, I did a news article on this woman. Yeah, I started a news agency. Ended abruptly because then weird shit started happening, and then real bad things started happening. I'm like, all right, man, maybe I should lay off the news because I feel like I'm manifesting this or whatever fucking word you want to call it. I really don't care anymore. Like, whatever you gotta assign a definition for whatever semantic representation of language that you have to say, hey, it's this, manifest, or whatever. I feel like I made it happen. Or I feel like just the whole world is contrived to such an extent that call it God, gods, or believe me, they want to tell you you're learning all these books that Christianity is the biggest, and that's not true, man. It's not true. There's more people on the planet that believe in multiple gods, polytheistic, than there are monotheistic. And if you want to sit here and argue that and then go cite some sources, okay, man, like, let's see if your sources on books on analog pieces of paper are even in existence in 10 years. And then maybe I'm just going to cite more Google search results. I mean, I could get half the population to believe it either which way just by making websites with a script. Okay, once you figure out the Wix API, it's not too hard to just crank out the web pages, and then you plug that into a fucking low-level AI system, man, and guess what? You got a couple 100,000 web pages in a fucking week. And then you just pay people, you know, oh, yeah, pay you guys in India $10 or whatever to fucking just rewrite it. Rewrite this content, man. And it's written all in broken English or broken Spanish or broken Chinese, whatever the fuck, you know, the people learning languages, you know, because it's always going to be someone to translate, right? So, from the original content. So it wouldn't be hard to boil it. That's what we call here in America, we call it boiler rooming it, essentially. And you know, Wall Street's been doing this shit for years with stocks and so. I mean, they just put out a bunch of fake fucking bullshit on the online, get people to realize. And we did it with crypto too. You want to sit there and do like fucking your due diligence on a fucking we'll read a crypto white paper that was written by the fucking engineer that says, hey man, we can use software to monetize this platform on a token based system that will incentivize monetarily content producers or micro infrastructure providers, and in other words, your fucking computer at home and your internet connection could be making you money. All you gotta do is leave it on and run this software. That's all you gotta do. That's mining. Okay, so but really what it's doing is it's processing like back-end financial transactions, and it's decentralizing the infrastructure so you don't have to have like a server farm at like AWS, Amazon Web Services, or whatever. And that's all crypto is. Okay, so it's basically a decentralized infrastructure that the end user people like us, we can commit to mining it and basically leave our computers on, and our processing cycles and our electricity then makes us money. And then that gets all convoluted and like people are just buying it because of the cool icon and that's so and then you got some guy you plugged in with some rapper and you pay him 50 grand and then he mentions it, like, come on, man, like it's so like we did that shit, like it's bad, all right? Like, I'm not a rich man. I'm fucking broke, man. I'm living in my truck, okay? I say we because, at some point I realized what was going on, all right? And what you do is you have, like, the software creator will when they create their blockchain, which is essentially just a giant ledger, giant Excel spreadsheet, right? If you want to think about it like that, okay? And everybody gets a copy. Then you have to reconcile it. So you can't trade a token and say, hey, this token goes to this hash key address or whatever, which might as well just be your fucking name and then add like 4 numbers. Yeah, but, I mean, it's much more complicated than that because it's decentralized, and it's decentralized infrastructure that is basically software driven, that gives you a unique identifier. It doesn't need to be, but it's secure in the sense that, like, it's anonymous and all this shit. However, it's not hard to figure out who's who and who's getting the money, where the money's going, if you analyze the blockchain forensically, which is what I did on a couple projects I worked on, and I got right the fuck out of it when I realized pretty goddamn quickly, like 3 or 4 people in the room, in the Discord room, chat room, whatever, and then we all use different platforms, and I realized pretty quickly, like 3 or 4 people own most of these fucking coins, and they're just pumping the shit up. They're pumping it up, trying to get it to be just worth 1 penny. Just 1 penny they're trying to get this fucking thing to be worth, right? Because most people are like, oh damn, I buy that I can buy 10 of them for a penny. All right, shit. Or 1 Satoshi gets, which is but then it was worth different. So basically, the equivalent of a fucking penny gets you 10 fucking of these coins. Shit. Well, I'm not fucking I'm like some British dude. Like, hey, why not? Oh fuck! I said fuck. Why not try my hand at it? Like, like $5, £5, mate. Like what the fuck? Why wouldn't you? Like you never know. 5 years from now, you might be rich. Fuck it, man. Ready to buy a scratch off? I don't buy a scratch off. I'm buy them fucking stupid tokens, man. What the fuck? It's £5, mate. So you buy these fucking things, man, and it's all owned by like 3 or 4 people, and then they start dumping it, man. They're like, boom, as soon as they get up to a penny, they'll fucking sell off like 8 million coins, and then they'll go buy a fucking Camaro and shit, and then it'll tank the price, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? But they'll all plan it out at the same time, like all these developers, and they'll be like, yeah, like we're gonna run our pump and dump on these dates, okay? So that way it looks like it's a whole type of systemic thing, or like they just get somebody that dumped some whale that dumped some Bitcoin and sell 50-60 million dollars worth of it, and then suddenly that affects all the prices because it's all basically that's the goal, all right? If you want to look at it that way, which is effective for understanding it. So like it's all a lot of it's based off the Bitcoin because a lot of them are those are the ones that are bullshit use cases, okay? Because those are based on the Bitcoin. I mean, it's kind of like the fluid, like the fluid in the economy, the Bitcoin is, right? So, but if you got a legit use case, some people are going to just get your token anyway because you're saying, hey, no, we're running a fucking exclusive decentralized system that has to take this token. So if you want to connect with our audience or our end users, or if you're one of our end users, look, we've got a great piece of software, and we just need we need the dedicated infrastructure, and we're not going to pay for it because we want everybody to be able to sell their own shit because we got it everywhere. And that was, you watch Silicon Valley, that was the joke, like the fucking refrigerators, like had the processing power to so like if you'll entertain the notion that there's something out there at least just only 20 or 30 years more advanced than us right now, America, what they claim we have, Elon Musk and all this shit, he's been talking about this shit for a while with AI, hey, these are the dangers. Picture that's already happened, all right? Picture singularity as far as that. Picture that's already happened. And there's some fucking group of people out there that just have this AI in a box. And it just does what they want, or maybe it's a whole nation. Just think about that. Think about how there could be something more. We're Americans, we're taught we're the most advanced in all the world, blah, 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 ain't no better place. And it's like, man, I'm looking around like, all we got is printed money that gets us to buy vehicles. Like, when I look around, like, at our infrastructure, I mean, this place should just have there should be cranes everywhere, fucking putting up buildings. There should be, like, go drive through Indiana, man, and look at them fucking windmills, man. Those things should be fucking everywhere. Speaking of my power plant, look, man, you ever boil water with a magnifying glass? It's that fucking easy, okay? Ain't no need for all this other nonsense we have here. There's no fucking need for it. Aside from it's a cage, okay? See, our ancestors, they reached the pinnacle of analog, okay? And then they had to have this big fucking war that led to all this other nonsense. Talking about World War II, when it basically like destroyed everything fucking analog, man. Everything analog that we had. I mean, have you ever seen like film footage from like the 70s and below? Like, holy shit, man. Like, what the fuck? You want to talk about how good the pictures on your flat screen, man? That ain't shit. That ain't shit. Come on. And just look at it. And then we had CRT monitors, cathode ray tubes, man. The little fucking electron gun redraws your screen like fucking at the speed of light hertz. Like fucking. I mean, then we came out with fucking 1080p progressive scan or something. Like, I'm like, man, what the fuck did you do to our God? And you know what? Those CRTs, electron gun, glass. Okay, that shit moves fast. So if you wanted to manipulate the signal of a CRT monitor, you'd be pretty hard fucking pressed. I'll tell you that right now, man. You ain't finna just fucking like this right now, man. I don't even know if my face shows up to you the way my face looks. Okay, like now it's all digital conversion, run through all this shit, man, and fucking filters like micro filters. I mean, it's just software can do all this work for us, and we shouldn't have software like that. We shouldn't be doing it. Nope. Okay, everything needs to be analog. No wireless shit, man. Wired. Everything needs to be fucking wired. Everything needs to be, you look at a record, okay, that's analog. You got zeros and ones essentially being represented in little bumps. So, I'm sorry, like Laserdisc, CD, DVD. And you have to have a piece of glass, man. You gotta have a fucking laser, man. You gotta have a laser to read that goddamn data. So you know it's fucking analog, alright? Like, it just reads the bumps, the zeros and ones. But now, you got these signals, man, that coming at you. You don't know if that's what that is. Like, man, you and I could watch the same movie, and like you're hearing something else, and I'm hearing something else. Why is that? How could that be? I mean, if we're in the same room, then it might be a different story. But I mean, you guys get what I'm saying. So, which it is. Trust me, it is too. Because you be in the same room, that shit happens to people too. And you're like, what the fuck, man? Is this guy hearing the same shit I'm hearing? Like, what? And that's a whole different explanation. That's on a whole another layer of fucking up structure, down structure. So basically, like, all right. So going back to, like, there's an externality that's acting upon us that's at least 20 years more advanced than us. Given the extrapolation of our current AI trend, AI developmental now at this point, right? It's developing a fucking mind, man, and people are connecting them. It's like Elon Musk said, man, you know, you could just have attack drones. And I said that shit long before him, man. Like, why can't you just put a fucking shotgun on a drone? And then some redneck did it. And then people got scared. Hey, welcome to the new world, right? Like, here you go. It was shooting, like, dude, this guy had, man, like, he had a shotgun. It was strapped to a drone. And, like, he was going, like, it was like, I don't want to use hand, like, or, like, there was, like, boom, and it was, like, the drone would just go back and, like, boom. It was fucking funny and scary at the same time, alright? Now, picture that 20 more years advanced, and, you know, drop some serious money into it, and you got that kind of software, and the AI's just spitting out the software for you. Hey, Siri, I need a decentralized application that can't be traced, that's going to live in the cloud and control these specific drones that are commercially available in fucking every Walmart in America, right? Now suddenly, it ain't gonna be too hard once she's like, you know, you want to call it Skynet software, whatever the fuck, man. Like, whatever analogy, whatever you gotta tell yourself, man. You understand the point I'm making. Use whatever words. I'm not gonna argue semantics. I do not argue semantics with anybody. Okay. So now you got all these drones, all this electronics, and then, like, basically you find your car's getting shut down from outer fucking space because you didn't pay your bill. Or Apple bought the promissory note, and they're going to now fucking... Don't get mad at me, I'm not giving them this idea. They've already got it in the works, trust me. They got so much money, and they don't know what to do with it because they're looking around the country saying, well, why should we invest our money here, or there? Same thing with Amazon, man. Amazon pulled out of Illinois. Okay, yeah, their blue step-up trucks are showing up, but, like, those they pulled out, like, 3 fulfillment centers, man, right in the center of the country. What do they know we don't? Just think about that. Like, wait, we got 300 million people, our economy's about to get set on fire, start roaring, because the government fucking printed $18 trillion and just gave it away. Well, we didn't just eat that. Like, yeah, I understand everybody's driving around brand new fucking cars. You know, I got one too. Oh, I got one that was... I got lucky. But somehow, some way, my car's worth more than I paid for it, and I still owe it, and I'm like, no, this ain't right. You know, so I could sell my car right now and pay off my loan, and then have perfect credit, and then go get some shit job, and then go get another new car. But I don't want to get rid of my car, because, you know, when I press my gas, there's an analog fucking cable that goes to the throttle body, man. I mean, yeah, fuel trim and shit like that probably could be hacked. You might be able to make my car run like shit, but I got a Honda, so it'll fucking run on Everclear, right? Yeah, so... Sorry, I gotta get ahead of myself, and I dispel a lot of things so I can see the arguments coming already. And I see the other geeks being like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, you know, so I'm gonna present this information first, so, you know, your mind don't even go down that way, man. Like, don't fucking doubt me, man. I promise you this shit is real. Like, okay, Apple is going to buy the promissory note from a failed bank, probably, like, let's just say Capital One fucks around. Capital One fucks around and fucking falls off, right? All right. And Apple comes and says, well, man, we had a stock buyback purchase for the past 10 years where, you know, our government basically passed these laws to incentivize them to buy their own stocks right back up off the market. So our government basically gave them a bailout, and a lot of people didn't really know it because they ain't got time. They're so distracted to see how that was a bailout. But mechanistically, yes, it was a total fucking bailout. Total fucking bailout, man. So Apple is buying, Apple's got a shit ton of liquid capital. They got cash, man. What are they going to do? They're going to, when a big bank, or a bank holding company that owns and has all these fucking liabilities, red line items on their P&L statement, basically, they rewrite the fucking liabilities as assets. Oh, well, we've got 1 million people who have used cars that they're probably living in. I keep mine pretty clean. I mean, I take care of this Mikabayo, and I mean, it's fucking filled, man. I'm sorry you had to see that, but it's a work in progress. Like, I got all my gear and shit. Like, I don't have a tow package. I got a 4-cylinder, all-wheel drive vehicle. I don't have, like, the touring package with the luggage rack, so everything's in here, man. Like, it's hard, man. It's hard. Like, if you want to live on the road, man, and be streamlined about it, like, it's hard. It's not fucking easy, okay? It is not easy. I need help, all right? I need help. That's why we're going to start this channel. So, sorry, man, I try to tie it all back in, man. I was fucking sit here and talk for hours, all right? So, I need help. I need people help, too, man. I need an office. We need an office. We got to get ourselves out of this. All right, like, if you're listening, you are the resistance. Like, join the fucking club, man. Like, or help me show other people. Help me. So, going back to Apple buys bails Capital One. I say, hey, we'll give you $100 billion now, Capital One, but we want all promissory notes for vehicles 2018 or 2019 and forward. Because Apple already knows that the hardware and the software in these vehicles, they've either bought like the patents to them, the licensure, they've licensed the software themselves. I mean, if I can go to, who knows who made the software for Honda, right? Like, if I can go to that same company and be like, well, can you make us something too, where you might think about start making a car, blah, blah, blah. And they'll be like, all right, yeah, I bet. And then they license their software to Apple, and now Apple picks it apart and says, okay, this is how it works in the Honda. So now that we own that Honda, technically, the promissory note, we're going to now, and there ain't gonna be no laws to protect you, all right? Like, all right, so we better start making some fucking laws in advance, and we want to be smart about it. You want to subscribe to that? All right, you got to work together, because your fucking congressman ain't gonna do it, man. That guy's selling you the fuck out, dude, laughing to the bank all the way. Trust me. Or he's just some guy that fucking barely exists on paper, man. There's plenty of congressmen out there. Oh yeah, I'm so and so. It's like, man, there ain't nothing to prove that you're that guy. Like, there's no fucking. Where's all your family photos for the last 40 fucking years? And like, where's all your? I want to talk to somebody who grew up next to you. I want to talk to the guy. I want to talk to your football team. Like, who'd you play fucking soccer with, man? Like, I want to talk to all those people. And if you're a politician, like, you should have all them people vouching for you. Not like, oh, I just threw my hat in the ring because I ran unopposed, blah, 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 and now I'm just making money. Yeah. And I don't know what I'm doing. I just signed a fucking paper because it's so lucrative to do it. Why wouldn't I? I just threw my hat in the ring, man. I thought, Mr. Smith goes to Washington shit, right? So, we go start working together. And there are good people in government, man. Don't get me twisted, man. Don't get me fucked up, all right? There are good people in government. And we got to get our other good people. We got to get our other good people into government. And we got to say, hey, man, we're supporting you. We're behind you. What can we do? All right? So, because Apple buys up these promissory notes, man, and then they start sending mail out, or fucking, next thing you know, like, because you got your OnStart thing, your other fucking bullshit, and then you got your fucking, touchscreen on your dashboard, and what if one day, like, you know how on your phone you get an update? And you say, oh, okay, it says, or Samsung's updating their legal policy, blah, 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 if you still want to use this, please click OK. Oh, yeah, right, okay, I gotta be a scientist, a software engineer, and a fucking lawyer to understand anything that they even wrote. So now imagine one day your dashboard, or your central, not the dashboard that tells you your RPM and all that shit, but the other one, the touch screen with the navigation, this fucking thing, okay? Yeah, that fucking thing, right? And it's a touchscreen, and it says, updated fucking policy information for your software. And you click OK. You click OK. Now, you basically just agreed Well, first of all, the fucking firmware was just updated in all your fucking chips that control most of your vehicle. And it was done wirelessly, like fucking an Amazon Kindle used to do fucking 20 years ago through some passive 3G network, GPRS. It's still all just floating around anyway. So it's that easy. Apple's going to have a team of scientists to say, hey, how can we get this data onto those chips? And then you're going to have a room full of guys. And you get a guy like me. You're going to get a guy like me as the project manager, and I'm going to figure out how to fucking do it, man. I'm going to get all the right people in all the right rooms, all working together, spitting out compartmentalized fucking pieces of work that all then mechanistically fit together later to create this whole system. That's what people like me do with my brain, okay? So I'm a systems analyst, man. Show me the system, I'll analyze all the moving parts, and then I'll figure out what you can give me. Give me the data and tell me what you want the end result to be, and my brain will be like, bah, bah, spit it right the fuck out, man. Like, sorry, I'm not, I mean, Jesus Christ. What do you, so, hey, that's what I do. That's what my brain is programmed to do. I don't know if I want to apologize for it or not, but, like, I know that it can do that, and I'm not out here fucking people over with it. Like, I'm trying to warn people and say, hey, man, this shit can happen. It can happen to anyone, okay? It can happen to anyone. So, now, when you don't pay your bill, an Apple could just have another bank and be like, you'll get something in the mail or something like your car payment is now, owned by blah, blah, blah holding company, which, and then it'll look like them instead of Apple. Is slowly shutting down. Like, imagine your ABS don't work now and you start losing functionality. So because you didn't pay your bill, or maybe you're not going to pay a premium, you're not going to get a certain functionality out of your car. Or maybe that 35 mile an hour gas or 35 miles per gallon gas you're getting dips down to 28 and you can't figure out why. Well, technically, the software algorithm adjusts the fuel trim based on the fucking environmental conditions, driver pattern, and it'll delay you 2 milliseconds just to save you that gas because it knows you're a lead foot or something like that. And then it just stops doing that. So then your gas mileage goes to shit. And I make your gas mileage go to shit, not just through that. Like, I just debo it on the fuel trim and just fucking burn, like, if I wanted to. I could do it with a satellite and some software developers, okay? If I was a project manager working, I could absolutely 100% do that. I could absolutely hack your fucking car, and but the funny thing is like I didn't have to hack it technically. Like, you agreed to it, and then and then your bank got bought out by a fucking a phone company. So you're just fucked anyway. But yeah, it's possible. That's what I'm getting at. It's possible. Yes. That's not what I do, guys. I don't do that. Jesus Christ. I'm sweating. Sorry. You see, I don't even have to edit this shit out post-production. You're not gonna fucking see this shit. Told you I had a mohawk. We're in fucking trouble, man. Yeah, that looks better. We're in fucking trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Big fucking trouble. And we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do together. I'll start touring the country, and I'm going to start showing you guys stuff. Showing you stuff that we ain't supposed to know, man. Like, when I see fucking, like, shit that we have brand new in society, like, they're telling us, hey, these construction elements, watershed shit, giant fucking concrete things being buried in the ground, on the side of the road. When you find something like that out in the wild with a fucking, like, 70-year-old tree grown over a fucking sewer grate, how the fuck did that get there, man? I mean, come on. Come on! How'd that shit get there? I mean, you got guys out there saying ancient aliens, man. Oh, ancient technology, this shit's been around for fucking forever already, man. We're at the end of time, then. And we're being lied to. I mean, if they have big fucking massive granite platforms in the fucking mountains of Chile, I mean, come on, man. That's like a fucking a landing strip for a fucking a very advanced aircraft. Come on, right? So, I mean, I go around the country and point this shit out, man. You know, you want to talk about the History Channel, man. That shit got stale. Like, they got a couple good guys, man, but like they're not willing to take the risks I'm willing to take, man. I'm willing to go anywhere. You guys fund me, and we'll get you the real fucking news that's going on in this country. Let's do that. Let's do that together. I'll talk for hours, you guys. This is my first video. I need help in more ways than one. Monetarily, people help. A camera crew would be nice. The phones, or just someone to hold the fucking camera, man, or just something. Just something. Post-production elements, man. Like, I need a lot of work. Okay? You got it. Let's do this. I love you guys.